Hey, all right, everybody. How's it going? Now, I got a story by here in front of me, and it's basically the journalist has lied intentionally, I assume. We get into the story now. Is another EV fire, but it wasn't an EV, if you know what I mean. And there's another story I want to talk about. Tony, he went fishing. Tony went fishing. Does anybody know what I'm talking about when I say Tony went fishing? We'll talk about that a little bit later after this one. So, if you're intrigued to wait about Tony fishing, just listen to this one first. So, when I first looked at this article, I thought, I better take a screenshot because I reckon they're going to change the article in 24 hours. And they did. They changed the article in 24 hours. So, let me tell you what it's all about. So the article is from the South Wales Argos, and the journalist is Chloe Atkinson. Now, the actual headline now reads, Abergavenny Jaguar car burst into flames outside Aldi, and there is a video of the car on fire. But there's also a picture a little bit later on, a close-up picture of a big bloody engine in the front of the car, so it wasn't electric. But no, that's not the really bad bit. The really bad bit is, it wasn't just this person getting a little bit confused. I'll tell you where she actually got her information from. You're not going to believe this. A journalist for the South Wales Argos got her information from people on Facebook, right? On Facebook, commenting on the car fire. Not the people who seen the fire, people commenting on the car fire of the video. So not people who were there, people commenting. You know the kind of people who say, oh, a car fire, it must have been an EV. Actually, I'll put up, somebody posted something on Twitter last night that I noticed. I'll put that on the screen right now. That explains it a little bit better. So, the article has been changed, and I was reading the article. I just couldn't believe I was reading the article. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I went down, and she said some people on Facebook had said it was an electric car. You know the ones, it must be an EV, even though I've seen, for some reason, I keep seeing petrol and diesel car fires all the time on Facebook, all the time. Now, like I've said in the past, I'm not saying that electric cars cannot catch fire. They can catch fire, like any other car can catch fire. Even diesel. You know the people who say, if you put a match by diesel, it doesn't catch fire. And I'll try and explain to the people who are a little bit thick. A car is made up of burny stuff. And if diesel does get hot enough, it will ignite. Now, so she looked at the Facebook page, seen this at electric car, and thought, oh, clickbait title, I'll chuck it on there. Now, later on, in the actual article that this person wrote, what was her name? Chloe Atkinson. She put electric car at the top. But even in the bottom of the article, before they removed electric car, it said, locals speculated that it was an electric car, but the fire service later confirmed this was not the case. According to the Gwent police, the fire wasn't the result of a road traffic accident. So it was, and I think the car was a Jaguar F-Pace with an engine. Right? So it ignited, okay? So that was that, right? And I was a bit, I definitely was a bit sort of, whoa, journalists are actually writing stories based on not people being there at the actual event. They're writing articles based on people commenting on Facebook about an event they haven't seen themselves. It's crazy crackers. It's crazy crackers. Or you could say, it's a load of old ghoulies. Now, that was that, right? So you can definitely see that the mainstream media are definitely making clickbait titles, true or not, just to get the clicks. That's proof 100%. You don't need any more proof than that. There it is. That's what's happening. Now, with that being said, what about this person called Tony who went fishing? Well, if you know what I'm talking about, it's Jeff's old mate. I think he's called something like Electric Carnage or EV Carnage. He makes anti-EV videos all the time, okay? So, he made a video, and I didn't fall for his trap. I didn't fall for it. He made a video about the car, the Ford Mach-E. You must have all seen it by now. And it was travelling down the freeway. I think it was America. And the car was pushed against the central reservation. It was a concrete barrier. The car was going down there, and the guy was praying. And unfortunately for him, the car didn't have pray-by-wire steering. But the car was going along. I don't think it was going particularly fast because the other cars were overtaking it. But there was a few things, like he did a video on that, sort of insinuating that it might be the electric car's fault, but he didn't quite say that. And near the end of the video, he said, "Oh, I've gone fishing," he said. "Let's see how many people bite." When I haven't actually said it was the fault of an EV, it's just the fault of modern cars with all the technology. So he went and he did go fishing, and he did get a few bites. I didn't bite because what I always tend to do is go and look at the comment section, and they give the game away. Not that I usually talk about Tony anyway. I don't usually talk about Jeff and the McMaster and the Tonys of the world anymore, and the MG guys, because they are becoming irrelevant, because this whole anti-EV thing, I think, is getting smaller, and the pro-EV thing is getting larger. So the pro-EV thing, as more EVs on the road, gets larger, and the silly anti-EV people group gets smaller and smaller until it's insignificant. So he did go fishing, and he did catch a few bites. But anyway, let's talk about the actual car that was travelling down the freeway, the Ford Mach-E. The guy was praying. Now you could see that the indicators were on, the hazard warning lights were on, and I assume the car had put them on automatically. There was no brake lights coming on, so the person who was praying wasn't pressing the brake. Did he have his foot in the accelerator? I don't know. And as it came to the end of the... and it wasn't... Another thing is, I don't think it was running away with itself either. It wasn't one of these top-of-the-range self-driving cars. I think it had minimal sort of... Not even self-driving capabilities. It was a bottom-of-the-range one, I think it was. But when it came to the end of the central reservation, the car swerved to the right and got hit by another car, and it stopped. It didn't keep going, so the accelerator wasn't stuck. I'm assuming Mr. Prey guy had his foot in the accelerator. And the police did say later on in the report that it was a DUI. So it could have been drugs, drunk, or whatever. Obviously, you can't pray and drive a car at the same time. It doesn't work, does it? So he must have been right out of it. So some people, some of the anti-EV people, did jump on. I did go into Tony the fishing guy's comments, and even though Tony, who was fishing, did say that it was just, cars like that, it's technology, blah, blah, blah. He did sort of insinuate it might have been the guy's fault. But even when I went down in the comment section of Tony's little bit of a fish, they were still saying it was electric car fault, which it clearly wasn't. So there's my two stories. Now, I did get a person one time getting quite angry with me that I didn't put enough information in the videos that I do. I don't know how much more information I could have put in there. That's as much as I know. I don't know the guy's name driving the Ford Mach-E. I don't know the name of the person whose Jaguar caught on fire. All I can do is show photos and show what I know. But anyway, with that being said, that's enough of that waffle. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like. Comment down below. Did you see the Mach-E video? Did you see the fishing video? Did you hear about the Jaguar electric car? There wasn't an electric car. Put it all down in the comment section. So, and give it a like, and I will catch you in the next one. Ahoy!